I'm Helen Sheridan and I'm out in County Meath today to talk to dairy farmer Martin Heaney about his multi-species swords. Hi Martin, you're a dairy farmer here. Would you like to tell me a little bit about your system?
We're all spring calving system here, milking 240 crossbred cows. We try to maximise the use of grass. We did 496 kilos of milk solids last year. We generally feed around a half ton of meal per cow.
The sward that we're standing in here, Martin, isn't a typical looking sward. Can you tell me about the species mix that you used for this?
No, it's a multi-species sward. There are 9 different species in it. There's 3 grasses, 3 herbs and 3 legumes. The reason we've tried that out is to reduce nitrogen input. We think with the environmental regulations that's coming in, we're going to probably be restricted on the nitrogen we can spread, and we want to see can we get more out of the soil that we have already.
Had you any difficulty in sourcing the multi-species mix you used?
No, I had no difficulty getting it. We worked with Tom McGuinness from McGuinness Seeds. He was able to advise us on what he thought would work best, and there didn't really seem to be any issue in getting what we wanted.
Why did you decide to use a multi-species mix, Martin?
Why we went for it, I suppose it started off, we were on a discussion group trip to South Africa in 2016, and we saw quite a lot of multi-species there, and thought it was an interesting concept. So when we came home from South Africa, we decided, I was doing a little bit of research on it, and I discovered there was a project in UCD run by yourself, Helen, the Smart Grass project, which was trialling multi-species pasture with sheep, and we decided as a group to go and have a look at it, and from that there was 4 people in the group decided that they would sow a bit of multi-species and see how they got on with it.
And when you sowed it, did you experience any particular problems or subsequent problems with establishment?
No, there's no problems sowing it. It's sown very similar to ryegrass. We burnt off the sward with Roundup first. We left it a couple of weeks. We put a little bit of lime on. We put a bit of 10-10-20 on, and then it was just minimum tilled, just with a harrow and a seeder, and rolled after that.
And were there any particular problems with weeds within the swards?
We had a few little issues with weeds in this particular paddock. I don't really know why, but I think they will be sorted with spot spraying. We have had issues in the past with one paddock where we didn't control the docks before we sowed it, and that has been an ongoing problem on that paddock, but generally it's not a big problem.
You've grazed this paddock once already, Martin. Are you going to graze it again, and how do you think you're going to manage the grazing intervals and duration as compared to your normal ryegrass swords?
Under guidance from yourself, Helen, we go about a third longer than we do with ryegrass. So if you're on a 21-day rotation with ryegrass, we tend to go on about 28 days with a multi-species sward. It means that you're grazing a much heavier sward, but you're not grazing it down as tight.
And what about your post-grazing height and fertiliser and slurry management within these swards?
The fertiliser, we have just put about 25 units of nitrogen in January and about 45 units in March, and that's all the nitrogen it receives for the year. We haven't put slurry on it. And the post-grazing height tend to be about 5 centimetres, about a centimetre more than traditional or standard ryegrass, and maybe that's even a little too tight at that, but we'll have to see how we get on with it and see what persistency is like.
You've had a couple of years experience using multi-species mixes at this stage, Martin. How have your paddocks performed when you compared them in terms of your ryegrass swards?
Yeah, we've one paddock here on the home farm that we sowed. It's 2.5 years, almost 3 full years done now. It has been about 1 tonne per hectare ahead of the average of the rest of the farm according to pasture base. So we're quite pleased with that, with a quarter of the nitrogen input.
And in terms of the future, Martin, do you see a future for multi-species mixes? Would you recommend them to other farmers?
I would, but you need to know what you're doing. You need to do a bit of research on it, find out a bit about managing it. We've done that, and I don't think we're anywhere perfect. We've more to learn about it. But if you've got clean ground where you haven't got a lot of weeds, and you're interested in doing it, then I definitely wouldn't say no.